Out on the Ducati today, ripping around northeast Mississippi, doing the last shakedown run before the big trip. Today's Sunday, I leave for the trip on Friday. As you can see, I got the luggage rack finished and on there. I did make a part 3 video for it, but I had to delete it for room on my camera to do the Clarksdale trip. Got some just universal Oxford saddlebags on there. But just do a quick little video today of ripping around. Put a new rear tire on it, adjusted the chain, changed the oil, gave her a bath. Hey, anybody that's considering getting one of these bikes, 100% recommend it. I don't even like sport bikes. I like choppers and Nortons, but I bought this thing and it's just so much fun. So if you're thinking about getting a super sport, get one. I got the base model because I'm not going to be like out on the track doing track days and stuff, so I don't need the upgraded suspension. The standard stuff's just fine for me. But yeah, anyway, let's get into it.
I gotta try you, baby.
mounds are gonna show up on the GoPro. Came here with the kids once and they ran all the way out to those things. I love the Trace. The Trace is my favorite road I've ever been on. It doesn't get a lot of love from the motorcycle community for whatever reason. No, there's not a lot of twisties on it. There are some in the northern part of it, but as you see from this video, there's a lot of long sweepers. There's no commercial traffic. There's no businesses on it whatsoever. It's just 2 lanes the whole way. There's always cool stuff to, you know, stop and check out along the way, like these mounds built by the Indians a long time ago. But just wanted to stop and show that real quick. Get that kid. It's a good looking bike. Even with all the luggage stuff on it. But this bike is awesome. I love this bike. Norton is my Norton Commando is my favorite bike I've ever had. But this thing is fun. Definitely fun. The furthest I've ridden it is like a 5-hour ride down to Natchez. And it wasn't bad. Really, it wasn't. At least that day it wasn't. On the way back, a couple days later, I was still stiff from the ride down there, so that was a little brutal. But this trip coming up is going to be probably, like, round trip should be about 3,500 miles, so we'll see how comfortable it is on that. I did get the risers on it. That was in another video, but so that definitely helps a little bit. But I mean, it's a great bike, and you know, seems to like it's going to do well for touring. And here's another shot of my luggage rack. You can see how I have it in there. But yeah, I got a bag. I'm gonna strap it across there. In hindsight, I would lift this up a little bit, like should have came out a little bit and then did it, so there's a better view of the brake light. But I did test it, and it is visible when you're in a car, like as long as you're like this far back, you know. But whatever, people haven't had any problems seeing me brake. I've had it on there for a couple weeks now. So that's gonna do it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, please like and subscribe. I hate to ask because it kind of seems needy, but it appears that every time I don't ask in a video, people just don't do it. So even if you don't like the video, do it. It doesn't cost you nothing. You know, it's people helping people, man. It's beautiful. But I hope you enjoy the Trace. If you've never been down here on the Trace, it runs from Nashville to Natchez. It's like 444 miles. So make sure you get on your classic car, your regular car, or your motorcycle and do the Trace. One of my favorite routes to do. Start in Nashville and go all the way down to Natchez, or start in Natchez and go all the way up to Nashville. It's beautiful. It's awesome. A lot of cool stuff to see along the way. It's just a great ride, you know. So anyway, thanks for watching.